Crazy Train! Welcome to the Crazy Train. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm dressed in my balls to make workplace relations awkward. With me from left to right is Sour Crouch.
You know, one day I really wish vultures could wear fur coats.
Crazy Train! That was Spike Direction. I'm Ibrahim.
Wicked.
And Blake Harmer.
Crazy train, I want to ride my crazy train. I want to ride my train.
Has it reels? It's not reels.
Buy a train.
Do you want a crazy train? Buy a bicycle from Queen.
Queen's bicycle shop a bit.
Do you reckon they're short of the cash then?
Yeah.
The Platinum Collection Greatest Hits is just, the sales have just tanked.
We buried him with all his money, he's got none left.
You can't take it with you. I'm gonna try! Freddie Mercury, notorious money-related dick.
Quick, pack it all in around him. Well, there's a space here.
Don't pack it there, he likes it.
Light. We have to get used to this, Brian. A minute and a half and we've got groaning going on already.
I'm out. Fuck this.
So I haven't seen you guys in a while. How you been?
Next question. What have you been up to?
Cool. So Sour Crouch and Spike Direction, for those who haven't been keeping in touch, are
You waited until he was taking a drink and you asked him a question. What was he going to
Welcome
do?
to the Spartan podcast.
Was he just going to slop 7-Up over your keyboard instead? What have you been fired?
Other drinks are available for spewing over Rob's keyboard. Yeah.
and if they're sugar-free ones, it's much easier to clean. I know this from bitter experience.
Even better, a nice can of Mong Lee Chang.
Oh God!
We're back
enjoying
on
the grass jelly. Anyway, so to give you kind of the listeners a bit of an idea of the schedule coming up, so this is going to be episode 18. Episode 17 is in the ether. It will be coming in sort of mid-December.
Why didn't you just change the numbers?
Because we already mentioned 17 by name.
You fool! This is episode 17!
Wagon tail!
China!
It's going to be like Red Dwarf season 10.
Is the name of
the missing episode?
Yeah, is this going to be like the episode name on iTunes? Going to be like, oh, we got it wrong. Oh, fuck.
Whoops, apocalypse.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an adjective that can die a death.
Yeah, sorry.
Already.
This is the grunt cast, isn't it?
Welcome to the Crazy Train, the Alpha Cast. Yeah, I suppose. Tune in next week. Wicked.
You'll warn yourselves out laughing at those status generator things for like half an hour. Everyone's just exhausted.
There are some amazing internet tools out there, and one of them is called whatwouldisay.com. It's what-would-say.com. It's a it's a plug-in for Facebook.
Yep.
For those who aren't familiar, it takes random pieces of statuses from your...
statuses and maybe...
I think comments too.
I think it's comments, yeah.
I think it's anything you posted on your own timeline.
Yes.
That's what I would suspect. And it just jumbles them together into some of the most batshit insane things I've ever read.
Most of us opened up the
But
show.
I can't be too dismissive of it because I've said those things, just not in that order.
Yeah.
It's a part of you.
You want to call it stupid, but all it's doing is repeating the things you said.
Just slightly out of sequence.
Yeah.
Much like episode 17.
I really am quite stupid.
You know, when you take my words, jumble them up and assemble them into sentences out of context, I look like an idiot. What are the odds?
You look like a mentalist.
I look like a serial
killer. I look like a racist somehow.
No, it's most race. We've been most race. You're doing grammar wrong.
Superior race.
No.
Okay.
Not that again.
It's the best type of racing. Superior racing.
Is it just chariots?
Yeah. This week on Deadliest Warrior, Chariots versus NASCAR.
narrated by me, Emperor Palpatine.
Pod racing versus horse and cart.
Reinventing the wheel versus inventing the wheel. It's the season end, alright? We're out.
Fuck this, I'm out.
We're out of ideas. We're on season 3 and we've had fucking pirates and vampires. Oh, make it up yourself. Just go in the garden and punch each other.
Captain Jack Sparrow versus ninjas. I don't fucking
Speed
know.
racer versus Usain Bolt.
That could be close though.
Fighting versus peaceful negotiation.
Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. See what?
Idi Amin versus Gandhi.
So what?
Do you know, he once tried to settle an international dispute by challenging the president of his rival country to a boxing match.
Is that Idi Amin?
That sounds like you.
As opposed to Gandhi.
Gandhi in the ring.
I
Have a go if you think you are.
I do believe, I think it's Brian Blessed
Right.
has had a sparring match with Gandhi. I know it's Brian Blessed and somebody that you would consider incredibly peaceful. It's either Gandhi. You make me
Or
sound
the Dalai
stupid.
Lama.
It's either Gandhi or the Dalai Lama that he's had a sparring match
I think it's
with.
more likely to be the Dalai Lama
Yeah.
just because of the time of Gandhi. I think Gandhi sort of died in the late
Yeah, that
10s,
seems
early
about right,
20s.
doesn't it?
Yeah, so I think probably
So yeah,
Dalai
but like,
Lama.
there's another
It wasn't
kick
as
in
late
Brian
as
Blessed.
that. It wasn't as early as that.
Was it not?
I thought,
40s, I
yeah, it was like after World War II,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't
India
know
my
history.
Yeah.
My bad.
I have something I wish to opine
Fabulous.
with regards to Brad. I don't think he's coming back from America.
Okay.
He seems to be having. Okay, well, Brad's gone to Miami for a wedding. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
Not
he's
his.
not getting married.
Yeah, not
No,
his.
he's not going to be.
Fucker didn't even invite us.
I really hope he listened to Will Smith's Miami on the plane.
No,
No, he's stupid.
Saw
He doesn't like listening to that type of music.
pop music. Popular music.
It's something that
Brad.
someone else has once heard.
Brad just likes to imagine sounds. Has it got a beat? Yeah, don't like it.
Can you dance to it? Yeah, don't like it. But he's like, we're all just planning our meet up here today. We're like, oh, should we meet this time? Yeah, okay. Oh, we can come to like.
And Brad's still involved in the Facebook.
And then Brad's like, hey, I fed a shark. I fired a Tommy gun. I got a tattoo. I'm smoking a big ass cigar. I'm like, he's not coming back from here.
But
He's
that's
having the time
everything
of
you
his
just
life.
said. He joined the mafia.
That's what it's like.
I got a tattoo, see?
I think he's just going to disappear, and like 4 years from now, he's just going to reappear as like the dictator of some obscure South American country.
Heisenbrad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going to happen.
Breaking Bread.
Just you wait.
Oh, we've tried.
B. Bison.
I thought you were still
Face
going to
the
come back
mighty
as
Brad.
Trevor from Grand Theft Auto.
Or just like M. Bison's from Crouch's.
You never know, while he's there, he might come down from his parachuting day.
Technically, we never resolved that threat, did we?
It's still up, he landed in America, fuck it.
Well, in theory, you should sort of spin down to the earth like a Psycho Crush.
We had him Skype in for those episodes.
It was the Dalai Lama, by the way.
Oh,
Okay.
That's not just me reading out one of those, what would I say? Brian Blessed boxed the Dalai Lama once.
Okay.
Oh, there you
It
go.
was, it was a spar.
Who
I know one!
He boxed him in the spa. What, the supermarket?
Gandhi's alive? Gandhi's alive?
You took me a minute.
Dive, my pacifists! and, then
Take a dive, Llama!
and then come back up.
Apparently
Having not done anything wrong.
Brian Blessed
down
the
in the
Dalai Lama.
I like in Blake's timeline, Brian Blessed has become a corrupt boxing promoter. Idi Amin, take a dive in the first. Papa needs a new pair of beards.
Oh, isn't there Jim will paint it of
Brian Blessed
Blessed.
racing Goldie on a Henry Hoover.
no,
That's
he's,
it.
he's boxing a polar bear.
Oh, is that one as well?
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Jim will
That's
paint
great.
it.
I love Jim.
We're talking about a lot of famous internet things. That's cool. You know?
Jesus, you'd think we were some kind of internet.
Yeah, you think we're some sort of internet entertainment thing?
Did you fucking download this HMV, did they? Excuse me, have you got the new Crazy Train podcast?
No.
What the
said
hell's a
That's why we went
crazy
into
train?
administration. So if they'd have had us, they'd be fine.
Yeah, if they'd have given away this recording for free, they wait.
They'd still be out of business.
But at least we'd have got more downloads. Because ultimately that's all I give a fuck about.
We're on to 5 now then.
What's that?
Downloads.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, we've each downloaded it once.
No, I meant 8.
Oh, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought the band 5 might have downloaded.
Oh right, yeah.
They're
Well,
our biggest fans.
no, A1 is the one you're thinking of. The boy band who's a big fan is A1.
Oh, I was a child back then.
Yeah, I know.
We were all a child back then at some point.
In the past.
I forgot
Apart from Brad, who was born at 75.
Oh, near 75. What? Born in the USA.
Landed in the USA, smoked a cigar
And fed a
and
shark
punched a
today.
gun shark or something.
That's the gun shot.
It's all kind of blended into one.
Far Cry.
It's all kind of blended into one. Oh yeah, it's Blood Dragon, I think.
Brad secretly Michael Behan.
What do you mean secretly?
Openly.
Don't mean being. I thought behen. Sounds like a weird crossbreed of animal.
Honey eggs.
Oh, honey eggs.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Isn't that a Cadbury's Cream Egg?
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
Right, so Brad can lay Cadbury's Cream Eggs.
Done.
Fuck it.
You heard it first on the gravy train.
Brad, bring us back an egg.
Oh, that's a bit strip right there.
An internet thing again. God damn it.
No, since we started doing bit strips, it's now old and dead.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
bit strips are over now.
I don't know.
It happened.
We were there
It became popular.
It happens that way. Like, I got into sort of, without meaning to sound like a hipster, I got into Twitter before it was as popular as it is.
Yeah,
And to be
probably.
honest, it doesn't change anything for me.
Yeah, your comic books haven't exploded.
What's Twitter?
Oh, that's that thing I keep sending.
That
you to
thing,
sign up
it
for.
wouldn't let you join.
I haven't actually tweeted in months.
No, it's true.
And I've got, I don't know how we're going to do this from recording, but I've got a match tonight. So a wrestling match.
I think we've established over the course of the last 18 episodes that we don't necessarily record one at a time.
No,
I think
that's
it's okay to
I've got a
kind
match
of
tonight.
tease the
So this
fourth
morning I
wall.
tweeted just like, oh, I'm, blah blah blah, going up to Triple X, and I've got like 5 favourites and retweets, and I'm like 3 new followers. I'm like, just take one of them. Like yesterday, somebody followed me. I haven't tweeted in, I checked, 3 months, and somebody just followed me. Like, what the fuck are you watching? Like, I'm surely. I don't get how that works. I don't get why you would follow somebody that doesn't do anything.
Bots.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, if I had a quid for every person on my Twitter followers who's a bot, then I'd have about 80
Maybe.
quid.
I don't know. This was a friend from school.
That'd be great.
That's what I mean. No,
How many followers you got? 80.
84.
I always got really
The cast and bots.
I got really disturbed when it just said Batman is following you.
Can you block people on Twitter, like Facebook?
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, you
Because
can.
I might just do that. I'll set up an account where all my followers are just bots.
Hello, bots. How are you?
Anyone
you
real-
could earn money.
Anyone real follows me, they're so blocked.
Twitter bots transform and roll out. You could be Bottomless Prime.
Do you remember that TV show, Botmaster? It was on like. It was
I think it was on one of your adult channels.
No. It was like this
Like
90s
King of the
cartoon
Gays.
where it was like this teenager who built all these robots that would like. He was like a boy Jew, but he built all these robots that sort of helped him fight crime. And it was the
I swear you
Yeah,
said
I'm just gonna.
It was like one of those ones that really tried to be hip and with it and down with the kids, and it was all like the theme song was all like the robots were all rapping.
No,
this is like
nice.
1903.
Yeah.
So it was dubstep.
The Buttmaster, do 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 Buttmaster, and all this stuff.
Tell you what, Paul will find that thing.
Seriously, I'm gonna find that and find the opening from that and stick it on like the E14
Do it.
Facebook or something.
Yeah, well-
because the world needs to see the wonder of the
We've
Buttmaster.
actually had that happen recently. So
We do need to
Oh,
thank
that
God.
advert.
Yeah, in episode 6. So in episode 16, Omer talked about an advert that he couldn't remember.
I remember.
I can remember it very, very well, but I couldn't find it.
They couldn't find it.
And the thing was, it was for a beer.
Yeah, it was for
And
a
I
beer.
was looking up the wrong beer.
You were assuming because it was an Australian setting, it
That
was
it was
Australian beer.
Carling, yeah.
It was Carling Black Label, and our number one superfan Paul not only found the advert and put it on YouTube, but he also made up this fucking amazing JPEG of Sam Neill watching somebody bathe. It's relevant in context.
I saw that without context and I was like,
That's
this
amazing.
is fucking great.
So it's a big shout out to Paul.
Yeah,
that was
thank
amazing.
you so much. That was amazing. I actually, I cracked up. I must have watched it 3 or 4 times in a row and just cried every time.
Yeah.
And then I was on Skype to my mum, who's like, obviously was another person that was looking for it like me. I was on Skype to her when she's in Cyprus, and I kind of like, I sent her the link as we were talking, and I can hear her watching it, and we're watching it, and it's like, we've now got this international laughter track about this like 90s advert that just fucking killing us, so thank you.
Just quickly, Blake exits stage left.
Oh yeah.
Just like catch up the thing.
Blake was just like,
I think now we need.
about this thing so many times.
I was like bored of it.
About this Sonic advert again.
Now we need an image of Brad as M. Bison. Surely. We need that.
That's what Blake's just got to do.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Yeah.
That was just slagging off my brother.
I don't think we can make requests like, you know, demands of our fan base. It'd just be like, hey, you know what we need now? Here's a list of stuff we need. Get on it, Spivvy. Come on.
I would like a prostitute.
Get on it, Spiv.
Superimpose me one of those.
On my dick.
Make the tits big.
Crouch needs
Typical Crouch.
Crouch needs a banjo string. Call back.
Broken banjo.
Blake's back.
Blake's
Have you photoshopped the picture?
Blake re-enters stage left.
He just wanted the chocolate orange.
Oh yeah.
My bladder is empty.
Good times.
I'm so relieved.
You're relieved.
Yeah.
What a myth.
On the subject of broken banjo, actually, because the last time I brought up you guys, Crouch and Spike, I'm indicating that for the listeners.
You guys.
You guys. What do you mean, you guys? You're racist.
Hey, you guys.
What?
But you're not.
It's back.
All back loop.
He's back, baby. He's back. So, was in the context of I went to see your fantastic gig, and I bought your EP.
I know.
And funnily enough,
Well done.
I got there's an insult written on the disc, and I got the one that I watched Crouch write, which just said, "So Crouch says, damn, you ugly."
You open it up. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I opened it up and was just like, "Aw." Oh wait, these are non-specific.
Yeah, the bit that said to Rob.
I knew
Nobody
it.
just said, to Rob, bitch you fat.
I think one of them said that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
You got 3 legs.
Oh, you gone, bit.
I think one of them said just Crouch says.
I've decided incidentally that if a crazy train were a real train, that would be the sound it would make.
It's actually the noise that the truck from Big Trouble in Little China makes.
There you go.
Jack Burton tugs on it.
So I kind of talked about the gig a bit and that how I felt it embodied kind of a few things that were wrong with the local music scene. So I wanted to get your perspective on that. So I'm not going to
You ask him when he was drinking again. All you going to get is a grunt. Do you like music?
What is your opinion on things?
So, without kind of going into any specifics about who and what and
Yes.
stuff, how did you feel that gig?
Well, I think there's a guy called Rob that in the audience was a real fucking dick.
Yeah.
Tell me something I don't know. I want perspective that nobody's heard.
He was making me uncomfortable, sort of standing there and lurking in the shadows.
I felt
my-
like a piece of
With
meat.
my balls out to make
Playing with
workplace
himself,
relations
yeah,
awkward.
terrible.
Making you uncomfortable with his dick out,
Yeah.
looking me from across the room. I thought he was playing pool. No, he wasn't even holding the pool.
He was just thinking about baseball.
Hold that, made that for an hour.
And that time he hit on both of our mothers, that was just...
Oh my goodness,
that was
yeah.
awful.
It doesn't fork like a snake.
No, but it goes through one, out mouth, and into another.
Penetration spit right.
The human centipede.
Fucking beast. The human bangapede? I don't know.
The rubber cocks. Anyway, the gig.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Where is
Without
it?
being any non-specific, that first guy, what a shitter! What a shitter!
Yeah.
He was.
He went to the toilet. Oh, what a shit.
What a
It was
shitter!
3 miles of it. It was so big.
So he's been affectionately named by the cast as the son of the trash wizard.
The son of the trap. That's about right.
That seems fair, right? He's bumbling tits.
Drunken, shambling, hipster hobo. Kind of how I've described Crouch before.
Who can apparently do amazing shits.
Yeah.
So big that Ian Malcolm walks past and goes, that is one big pile of shit.
Clever girl.
Come on, little one.
Jurassic Park cast.
Spare no expense. Yeah, so yeah, he was awful, and
I don't know. You
what-
actually listened to his recording, didn't you? What was that like? I mean,
it was much the
better-
same but clear.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to compliment
I was
somebody,
gonna say the fact that he was so drunk he couldn't remember any of the words and kept fluffing it didn't
his
really
own
make any
songs.
difference then.
he's having a wank.
No,
No, he
I'm
was
not
just-
that type of fluffing. Sorry.
no, he literally sounded exactly like he. I think he's on like drugs anyway.
Oh,
all the
most certainly,
time,
yeah.
all the
I
time.
wouldn't have been
Right.
surprised if he was on drugs that night too.
Oh yeah, because
He was so out
who
there.
saw him in the alleyway puking up?
I heard him in the alleyway puking up as I
Ugh.
walked through to the toilet. I heard somebody in the alleyway throwing up, and he was the only person I couldn't account for when I came back through, so I'm guessing it was him.
Detective Brad.
Hold on. The only person
Don't
you could-
confuse me and
the only
Brad.
person you couldn't
Sound like my
account
mum.
for. The only person you couldn't account for in a music venue. That's depressing. When you can see somebody missing in a music venue, like you should be like 1,000
To be
people.
fair, the room was about the size of this room.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
And there was there was a,
I think
you know,
it's the stage.
What do you mean? We're in Crystal Palace.
I was quite pleased with the number of people there actually.
Okay.
Can you
I'm
hear
not
us?
insulting it in any way. I'm just saying that's a little like.
Yeah.
Well, you know when you walk in a room, you got 5 mates,
was
and you're
that
like,
again?
it must be Omer that's in the toilet.
Yeah.
And it usually is.
Well, no, it's not, mainly that's because if you're in the house, we
90%
know
of
it's
the
you.
time, I'm shitting.
Yeah. True story. As whatwouldisay.com is proven,
Yeah.
90% of your statuses are generated about poo.
Poo, shit.
So I'm
toilets.
guessing that 90% of the time you are poo.
and then talking about
My
it.
chair!
Isn't that great though?
Mine's so much for using
when
the
you
canvas
text
one, you
people when
bastard.
you're having a shit. It's
Oh,
just-
I love
I love
texting people
doing
about
that.
a shit. It's like, you don't know, there's a little brown pixel on my ass right now.
I'm getting away with this.
Have you ever had someone call like actually phone you when you're on the shit?
No,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah.
I've never had that.
I've had
My
that during
bathroom's really
sex.
I mean, you probably have, but you don't know. But then, like my missus.
Oh, well,
rings
sorry,
me
while
and she's-
they're having the shit.
Yeah, my missus rings me. She's
Oh.
like, I'm on the toilet right now.
No, women don't poo. Don't be fucking ridiculous.
They go to the forest and let
Yeah.
out this kind
Yeah.
of canister.
All at once, like the robots in Futurama.
Yeah,
I have been having sex with someone and their mother phoned them and they picked the phone up.
Whoa! Why wasn't that in your
And
sex
then, then I was like,
Number 5.
I'm gonna like make her squirm a little bit, and I was just like, I was fucking her while she was on the phone to her mum. She's trying to like not
Maintain her composure.
Call me daddy, call me daddy.
Is your dad there? Is it worse?
It's a family affair.
Incest. Okay, my whole family can play.
Crazy.
Is it worse that I've actually made a phone call during sex?
Yes. How did
Well, it
you
was a
get
phone
away with
call
that?
of, guess what I'm doing? And he's like, I don't know what. I hung up, took a picture and sent it to him.
Whoa!
Guess what I'm doing?
Sorry, mate.
Because you did it with me that time, doesn't need to ring me and tell me every time you do it. Getting sick of this.
You phone me every
What's
night.
more, that's my son that picked up the phone.
We're having Christmas dinner, you insensitive prick.
It's July!
Bitch me a turkey.
I'm fucking your dinner.
I'm providing the stuff.
Ho, ho, ho!
I don't know.
Right, Alpha, come the fuck down.
Now we've got a copy of Mein Kampf on the table, so he's here in spirit.
That's when you got that out before we started recording. You just put my cap down without saying a word.
Yeah. No, it's always a thing that my camp just turns up in this room every now and again.
Well, it does exist in this room, so it's not surprising.
That's my set of chessmen in a box.
Basically, all the Crazy Train canon is in this room. This is the canon room
This
where
is
everything
our
is
room.
created
I'm
and
looking for
maintained.
something new that we can incorporate. And there's this obvious, portal gun, but I don't want that. I might go with the China duck over there. So the China duck is now part of the
Yeah, it's the one. The China duck is the one you least suspect.
Yeah.
To what?
No.
Fire balls.
What the duck?
No.
China duck.
What's happening?
I don't know.
The Crazy
Off the
Train.
rails, man.
Crazy. No.
Next story, Rob.
See the swimming cups. Nobody's noticed the silence.
Don't worry.
Crazy.
Don't worry, Rob would have cut that side.
I cut a lot of things.
Especially when I talk.
Did you cut my bag?
The fucking all of them.
In their entirety.
Do you know who I really hate? People from and all of the, especially the ones suffering from and the fuck them all.
Edit point. I'll get those back in the edit, you cunt.
You're just going to read it over. Just the most slanderous fucking thing. And then there's a sentence going, and what's more, here's my home address.
So I'm going to edit in. So you think after 18 episodes my plan is to edit in obscenity? It's almost like you haven't been in the room ever.
Well, actually, when you go for your match, we're going to just make one of just obscenities just for you.
Omer said, fuck shit, I hate all the immigrants, fucking bullshit, cunt. And here's my address.
Welcome to the crazy train. J word, N word, B word.
We should just like
Buy a
record.
bike.
We should just stop recording of him like with the gaps, and then just do more recordings of him saying random words and get people to just make.
Oh my god!
Like,
No,
like an Omer
fridge magnet podcast.
That's amazing. Hello, you.
You know anybody that can do? I would actually sit and record a soundboard of things people think I say, and then like if you had a soundboard and some way of recording it, you could just have me talking shit about minorities.
Cut out and keep Omer's soundboard.
That's
We can
a
do
good
that. We can
marketing
make that.
idea.
We can do that.
That's a good marketing idea. Do you like Crazy Train? Buy your Omer fridge magnet. A fridge magnet interrupts itself.
It's only got half of all the words.
It's just a poster, right, of my face with a speech bubble that says "I fucking hate," and then you can just put whatever you like.
And it wipes.
Why is Omer pointing
Wipes
at
clean.
you? I thought you'd do that, but it'd just be a picture of you pointing at the person pointing.
I want you for racism.
So, back on the subject of that gig. So you said to me that when we talked about it afterwards, you kind of said to me that a lot of the things I was ranting about were the kind of things you were ranting about as well in general. So like, sound off. This is your place. You know, Sauerkraut and the Xenophones has almost unofficially become the E14 official band.
I feel
You might as well just use it. to sound-
Thanks for that, boys.
I feel a bit of a fraud being the official E14 band. But you do say it over it.
Hold on, let's
They
do
should
some practice. How many are there in the band?
3.
It's the same. So there's 2 of us in it.
How many gigs have you done in the last month?
Band fied.
How many gigs have you done? 1.
One.
Same, yeah, 1 in the last
Fuck's
month.
sake!
How many practices have you actually made?
3.
No, you're the E14 band. We've done 1 practice in about 4 years, I don't know.
How many gigs have you played this year?
Oh, I don't know, a lot.
Probably more than us.
Yeah, we played 9 in the
We
last
normally
year.
play about 1 or 2 a month.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for the Crazy Train Band Dick Measuring Contest.
Band top trumps.
Yeah, but I love the way this dick measuring contest is going because I'm going, no, I've got the smaller dick. We're shittier than you are.
I don't have a banjo string.
This is a race to the bottom. Isn't
Oh,
it?
in fact, this is our band dick
What, you mean the
measuring
podcast in general?
It's our band dick measuring contest. I wouldn't mind, but the guy who's not in a band is the biggest dick of them all.
Rob, wait.
Has or is, because Brad's in America.
Oh, yeah.
Even if he knows he's a dick.
Yeah.
Right.
He's happy with it.
What did you feel about the gig? Because I need time to think.
Fucking weeks, mate.
He's like, cover for me. I can't think of what to say.
Tell me to cough while I open this can.
Spike, vamp, quick.
You know, I'm in another band as well, and we've done a few gigs where I've got quite fucked off with. What do you think to which people can't? I just feel
Here and the crack corn.
Hey, fucking hell, I must be. But
I've lost some
people can't. I don't think people can be bothered with going out and like to watch a band.
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
If people want to go out, they don't want to watch a band. They just want to go and get pissed.
It's far
It's
easier to
really
put
hard.
ecstasy and listen to dubstep.
Yeah, it's really hard to get people to come and watch a band. A few years ago, you could just put the thing on outside at Command House and thousands of people turn up.
Yeah.
And now that just sort of has died. But you can do the same thing, but you're playing like dubstep, and it's like more. It's just like thousands.
Like we were saying about
thousands
like
of people.
the cyclical nature of music.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
and money's tough now. Like, if you're going to go out and like, I don't relate it, but a lot of people relate going out, seeing a band, having a drink. Like a six pack of Strongbow is cheaper than buying like 2 pints in a pub.
So I just started chuckling because you just picked like the most common cider I could think of. It's like,
Yeah.
a six pack of Strongbow is only just more expensive than a bottle of White Lightning, and it comes in individual cans. So result, fits easier in the fridge. Just saying. Welcome to Omer's Hobo Cider Review.
Oh, that's great.
This week I've mostly been poisoning my liver.
with apples.
Special brew.
That's
Like,
a damn
this week
brief.
I haven't had any money, so I've just found 2 apples and I've let them go off. I don't know if I'm drunk or dying.
This week, the closest I could get to cider was tying a pair of apples to a tree and smashing them together at speed.
I think last week I done gone drunk my own piss.
It wasn't that bad.
This week I'm mostly waiting for the police because I got a little bit confused, killed a woman and got insider.
Crazy!
Terrifying hobo pun.
That was a pun.
No, it was a true story, Blake.
Tenuous!
I was saying it's just a terrifying hobo story.
You got insider. Oh, there he's got it. He gets it now.
Blake's immune to pun. What a fucking superpower that'd be.
Yeah.
People turn up and be, what's black and white and red all over? A newspaper. I don't get it.
Or he
I
just goes,
saved the day.
yeah.
We joke for.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, he's the sniper, so he can't acknowledge close combat puns.
Don't want to give away my position.
To the right.
No.
No, we all know that's you.
Well, I do hate those. Edit points.
Edit point. You hate edit points.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah, they're the bane of his life.
Stop
don't you?
censoring me.
Anyway, you were saying gigs.
Where was I? Yeah. It's
Fuck's
just
sake, Blake.
that one was actually. That one was actually alright, I thought, because people turned up and there was a fairly decent atmosphere. Never mind that the first guy was
It was dreadful.
he was amusing though, at least. I enjoyed watching
No,
his
he
car
wasn't. He
crash
wasn't
at the set.
amusing.
I get annoyed more than anything else by those. There's 2 elements to it to me. There's 2 it falls into 2 things. On the one hand, I'm like, this guy got a gig where somebody else who probably really wanted to play and would have done a competent job didn't. But at the same time, it makes me go, well, if this cunt can get a gig, I could definitely get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if people would give us a gig, I think they would give anyone a gig.
Yeah, my problem is with people like that, and I've played with a fair few other bands that have been absolutely atrocious, all made, even if they're not my cup of tea, or they've booked weird sets where there's so many different genres of band that they don't really fit into one evening.
Yeah.
Because, basically the whole crowd would be miserable whatever band they watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my main problem with that is that if you put on something that terrible, this is why people aren't coming to see local music, because it's shit.
I was having this exact same conversation about wrestling the other day. You need one shitty twat and the whole thing is ruined. You could have 5 great bands, 20 great wrestlers. As long as one of them is poor, that's all that matters. And it's like it's that thing of like there's in wrestling we have a thing when you're training and you get your trainers are normally of a competent level. Right, and they say you are ready. Now you get shit schools, so that doesn't happen. But in music, there's no you're good enough. Like on like the music scene on the island, it used to be that there was like Sunday night gigs, and that was nobody was fucking there, and it was basically you turn up and play for a couple of beers. And the idea was, if you were good, you'd get a better slot for a few quid. It doesn't work that way anymore, but you'd get a better slot for a few quid. But on a Sunday night, there's going to be 10 people in there at most. Right? It's basically a pub with some bands playing. And the idea was, you'd come in no matter who you were, and you'd just play like a 30-minute set, as more as just like a jam in front of your mates. And the guy, the promoter would go, yeah, you're good. I'll put you on a Saturday night. I'll put you on a Friday night.
So it's like an audition. It's like a band practice with a small
pretty much, with a small audience of sort of regulars having a drink. And I think if a lot more venues did a kind of vetting process. I mean, it's not like like Wembley Studio are going to ask Metallica to
Wembley Studio.
Wembley Studios.
Therein lies the
New
problem.
from Wembley Studios.
But that's what I say. I'm not saying you should be able to judge them because every venue is going to, have a different style or whatever. Yeah. You're not going to be able to judge a band and go, yes, you're competent. It doesn't work. There's no grading on bands. 2 of the Beatles couldn't read music.
No, and also there's so many kind of different subjective tastes. Like the main thing in my mind is a general comment that the internet needs to get through its head is that not everything that's made is made for them. Yes. Like that person on the internet. I'm fully accepting of the fact that not everything that exists on the internet, in movies, in music, in games, in everything, not everything is made for me, and I'm okay with that stuff existing if I can still get the stuff I want. So who cares beyond
that? As long as it doesn't stop my stuff coming out.
Exactly.
It's like we were saying about the sort of the mundane bands like I think sort of Slayer did it once, Machine Head, where they turn to other styles of music and let their fans down.
Yeah.
Now that's cool. Like my favourite bands change, and they try new styles, and you do
I
get
like
bands
that.
that get left down. But I mean, there's a couple of bands that I was really, really into. One of my favourite bands just changed their singer. And that's fine. Singer left the band, doing the old stuff. It's great. But the new stuff with the new singer, I'm just like, you don't sound like you anymore. That's fine for some people. I'm not into it. I'll listen to my old albums. I might check you out if you come locally.
No, they'll look cool for
But yeah. But people are going, it's like that. If you just because you don't like something now, like it's other people will, and that's fine.
Like, on that note, I loved that thing that you showed me that I put up on from Cracked about horrendous things that are considered
four behaviours that we're now considering no behaviour. Four horrible things that we're doing.
1,000 million times that.
Yeah.
Like,
it was all about
spot on.
it was pretty much like the world isn't made for you, and I can't remember. I mean, only skim read it.
The world isn't made for you. You don't have to
assume
appear more intelligent than other people just because you like.
Just because you know something doesn't make you more intelligent. It's the whole thing. I remember having an argument when Les Paul died.
Okay.
I sound like an idiot here. I only knew it as a guitar. I was aware that it was named after somebody. I had no idea the guy was alive. I know it could have been the guy who's invented its guitar teacher or anything like that.
Okay.
And I watched a guy put up, Les Paul's passed away, and somebody else put, I thought he was just a guitar rather than as a person. And the guy who put the status up just absolutely killed him. And I just put up I knew that my friend.
Literally killed him.
I
send you into the death.
He killed
I love a Facebook comment going, I am stabbing you right now.
How do I get that app? I wouldn't be able to kill people through Facebook.
WhatwouldIkill.com.
The person that he was.
No court would convict me.
It was social media on there. It was totally justified.
He was trolling me. No,
I don't think I take it too seriously, my lad. I think you take it not seriously enough.
But I knew what the guy who had said I thought was only a guitar. I knew what kind of stuff he was into. So I just commented to person A, the one whose status was. I just said, "How much do you know about river fishing?" And he was like, "Nothing." And I said, "Well, person B." Well, his father was, I don't know how you say professional fisherman, but like the TV series and that. You can do it for a living in competition fishing. That's what he's, an angler, but like specifically on like, what I'd call like whitewater rafting style rivers, he used to fish on those.
Hardcore
like extreme angling,
Extreme angling.
And he was like,
we're on a boat made of cheese.
You're a fucking moron, how come you don't know about music and you don't know about guitar? And I was like, how much do you know about, I don't know, salmon fishing?
Yeah.
He was like, nothing. I'm like, well, you're a fucking moron, this guy knows all about it.
Yeah.
What is your knowledge, mate? And that's that thing. Just because you don't know what Harry Potter's wand is made out of doesn't make you not cool or cool. It doesn't matter.
Wood, yeah. Wood and magic.
At the end of the day, when you go to get a job, and the world will always be run by people who have better things to do than learn this shit.
Yeah.
No matter what the world becomes, that the boss of the boss of the boss in your office block doesn't give a shit about Harry Potter's wand because he spent his money getting to that position, and your knowledge of fucking the Thundercats names or anything like that will not get you a job.
Oh, God damn it!
I've been studying for years.
There's too many people now. They look at that kind of.
Tuned into the last episode of the Crazy Train. I give up. Turns out none of this is worth anything.
All knowledge is futile. Crazy.
I don't know.
Too many people want to turn their hobbies into their jobs, and that works for about 3% of the population.
Yeah.
Because, it's always on Facebook. You can become a game designer. You can animate. You can become a director. You can become you can go on X Factor and get a singing contest.
You totally can do all those things,
but you won't.
It's unlikely. Yeah.
By all means, fucking reach for the stars, But the glass ceiling is thicker than you think.
Kraus just made this face sound like,
This links in with the local band scene. I will tell you why. Everyone, within the entitled nature of drunk man.
Just in general,
there's like a little clique who are all friends with each other and help each other out, and to the exclusion of a lot of other people.
The idea of helping your friends out to do shows and things like that is totally commendable. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that people shouldn't help other people. That would just make everybody a big town of dicks.
The whole reason I'm putting on my boots and kind of having a wrestling match tonight is because I'm friends with the promoter.
Yeah.
And he will wrestle for great promotion.
So when I tried to get a match, I couldn't. That's Rob the Koala Bear. But you
want to see you wrestle.
But it's not what you know. It's not what you know. It's who you know. And also what you know.
If they ask me to bring my own opponent again, you can come and I'll kick you in the balls.
I'll just be sitting on the post like. Eating eucalyptus. This shit's disgusting.
looking a little bit like Ireland. Have you ever noticed that Ireland looks like a koala bear hanging onto a tree? Check it out, it's awesome. And Africa either looks like an elephant with a stubby trunk, or if you turn it sideways it looks like a horse.
So crazy train advice, check out Ireland because it looks a bit like a koala bear. Nothing to do with the geography of it, the beautiful
koala bear, what does it mean?
none of the beautiful countryside, none of the events, none of the history. It looks a bit like a koala bear. Visit Ireland, says the crazy train.
If you visit it, you're going to see that. You've got to go to space and look at it from below.
Right, visit space.
That's what.
Are any of our listeners in space?
Can't hear you.
Well, I'm off to Lampolly. I don't even think it exists anymore, but I'm up there.
Can you hear us back there in the 90s, buddy?
He's going to go to our price after that.
Yeah, like you're saying,
Yeah, I'm going to go to our price,
Or Future Zone.
Yeah, Future Zone.
Yeah.
You do have to get friends like within the industry. Like I noticed when I went to a war game convention last weekend, and I turned up to one store and they're like, "Hello, man." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, what's happened is I bought little bits and bobs from these.
See, that's just
and everybody knows each other.
That's just unnecessary. You should just go with "Hello, Mayor." Embrace the contraction and save yourself time, people. It's not hard.
There is a theory actually that the world will become like all conversation will become because of like LOL and all that will become really contracted. And we were talking around going,
Like us.
Like the crazy train.
Like the first 10 minutes.
We were here first, like bid strips.
And what would you say, Doug?
See, the trouble with that is I like them. I'm not one of those. I don't use bit strips. I laugh when other people would incorporate me into them. Right? So I have no problem with them. But it's just the people who use them for the most mundane things. Just
God.
like
Blake
Bob
exits.
is pushing a button.
Blake exits stage left.
Again.
Omer is having a shit.
But yeah, no, like you're saying, like cooperating on the scene, that it's all handy.
Yeah.
But you've got to be aware of like other scenes and incorporate them into yours.
What I find is that the people, like the professionals in the scene, I'm doing the quote.
Yeah, that works really well over radio.
Yeah, great.
Well, you could accent like the professionals.
The professionals.
Make it sound like you're on a sex line. Professional.
Hello there,
Don't
love.
get raw horny with all losing on
But
After midnight, we're
through
able
each
to.
other's mums.
After midnight, we're able to organise all the gigs you want.
and you're listening to the Crazy Train. We're all wearing knickers.
And also, apparently, we can't decide where we're from.
Hello! We're over in the new cruise!
I kind of sounded like
I've got my
Crichton.
pants on! I've got the pants on, you can see my vooch!
Crazy turn, Bob.
Yeah, these gigs seem to be like populated by other bands. So, when you go, the crowd is just other bands, and it's not for me. It's not fulfilling at all. Like,
Well, it
I don't
doesn't
mind
even
that
help.
because they're the only, like it's like I was saying before. Like the punter, the man on the street, doesn't want to go to watch a band anymore. It's just like I think
But
the
then,
will has just disappeared.
does it not feel that I've lost my train of thought. I think
The only people who care enough to like,
other
I
bands.
want to go watch a band play live music, are also interested to such an extent that they've all started a band of their own.
Does it not
so
feel
if
like
you're playing and people who are in bands like what you're doing, it's a sign that you're kind of doing something interesting.
Does it not then feel like a cheaper gig because all it is it populated by other bands? Like it's
to
not
me,
a real gig.
Yeah, but they're your target market. They're the people who are interested in original music.
To be
I
fair.
get what you mean, but I had exactly the same argument with somebody about it was years and years ago. And they were studying biology to become a biology teacher, and then what? So your student then learns biology to become a biology teacher. What's the point of
You're not
something
doing the real
if it's
thing.
not reaching out? Like learn, you need people to teach biology. But if, let's say you are a lecturer in university and you lecture biology to 30 students. All 30 of those students just go on to teach biology.
Yeah.
What was the
It's like
fucking point?
I get what you
If
mean.
one of those students becomes doctor, yes, and that's what it's for.
Yeah.
But the world has become education
Or
is far
scientist in
different.
biology.
Yeah, it's become everything's become so cyclical because we're out of jobs that we actually need to invent more. And it's the same in bands. Like we're out of we think we're out of musical styles and we're out of venues and we're out of original things to come up with. So all you'll get is people who do the same thing as you.
Yeah.
And we've had, like in Ben Crack Horn, we've had 100 gigs where the only people there are bands and their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right? And the bands come up to you, the bands that are playing that night
And us.
They and us.
We have our girlfriends.
Yeah. But they'll come up to us when we finish and be like, "That was amazing. We should play it together." I'm like, "Cool. We've never met you guys. You're from 50 miles away from us. It'd be really cool to travel out and get a gig," and they never do it.
No.
So yeah, it is great that the bands support bands, and it's nice that those are the creative people. If you actually do something with it,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, not always, obviously, there is some of that, and sometimes you're just being polite when you say something.
Oh, of course.
Because you can't go up to someone and go, "I thought you were shocking."
Oh, I tried not
I tried on that night. I was in the alley.
My tactic with that is just to not talk to them.
Yeah.
And if they come past me and they're like, "Oh, that was a really good set," I'll be like, "Yeah, you too, man. Enjoyed it." That's it.
God,
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's
But
bullshit,
that's
That's
it.
all I
I think.
say to them normally.
Yeah.
Is, "Oh, good set." Oh,
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
all. I think that's what it is. I think people are too afraid to leave it at a very simple dialogue, and they want to kind of, I used to have loads of things like when I used to live in Brighton. Loads of people used to say to me, "Oh, I'll have to come up and visit you sometime." And I was like, "Don't say that because you're not going to." And it's okay. It's not a.
Oh, sorry, okay.
It still hurts, Blake.
It just feels like a big pantomime.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's
like
so
you're
hard.
going
What's
through
the
the
point?
motions. Like, just local gigs is just going through the motions.
Yeah.
I enjoy it when I'm there. I enjoy it when I'm performing. But
Because you're doing something you love.
yeah,
That's the thing.
and I it's enough for me to play for my friends. I really don't give a shit about becoming anything.
And
Yeah.
this is
That's
the
the
other thing.
attitude
It's
to
like
have.
people,
Yeah.
I can tell you, and I'll tell you this right now, not with nobody specific in mind. People also need to get this idea out of their head that things like music bands and stuff like that can't just exist for fun.
No.
Like
They have
I
to-
know people who are like, "Oh, well, if you're not trying to get signed or whatever, what's the point of doing it?" It's like because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
I'm not.
I'll tell you what happens when you try to do that. You spend 9 years grovelling for wrestling matches, and then your knees don't work anymore when you are forced to retire because you can't stand it. Fuck that, right? It's not worth. Like, I mean, I know that's risk, but it's the same with being in a band. You will spend money, you will spend time, you will break down your cars, you will buy new instruments, and you could be doing better things, all because you think it's going to be serious. Just if something comes like my very best friend in wrestling makes a living out of it.
Okay.
Because he didn't try.
Yeah,
Zack
He
Sabre.
did. Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr.
If they can
Shout
see
out
you having fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love the guy a bit. Like, he tried his best, and he put 150% of the work. He diets
You can't
constantly.
do that. It's not maths.
He goes to the gym constantly. He strives. He pushes. Blah blah. But if it hadn't have happened for him, he'd have been perfectly happy
Yeah.
with his university qualifications,
And
and
doing-
he'd have gone on to do something with them.
And he might have done wrestling as a fun thing.
Yes, exactly. I once heard a quote, and somebody said to me, it was about a particular wrestler, said, some people play golf, he wrestles. Some people play in bands, right? And that is fucking fine, because the minute you start stressing yourself out, it's going to be the point when I eventually have kids, I won't be able to like have a kick around with them, because my knees don't work. You know,
Well,
so
yeah,
like-
you won't be able to have a kick around with your kids because it'd be traumatising.
yeah, exactly. But there's, I can't kneel at all on any hard surface.
You fucking better learn. Crazy Train for 2014. It's all servitude all the time, bitches.
And it wasn't worth what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Apart from the friends I made through it.
And the fun you had.
And the fun I had at the time. But if you were to go back, if you were to talk to me in my last year of me being an active wrestler, I was miserable.
Before you went dormant.
Yeah. Oh no, what I say is I'm not retired, I'm not unretired. I'm just, what I say now is I'm just not retired. Like, I don't want a constant, I don't want all the effort of trying to get matches. I don't want all that blah blah blah. But like, for instance, tonight, I got like a few weeks ago, I got an email saying, hey, if you're coming up to the show anyway, do you fancy being in big tag match, like the main event? I was like, yeah, that sounds really good fun, thank you. Yes, I will. I might have said, no, sorry, you'll have to find somebody else. It was up to me.
In the same vein as, obviously, now we've been doing this show for a little bit. If somebody, one of my other friends on another publication or website said, oh, hey, we're doing our podcast, I see you're going to be there this weekend, do you want to come on? Yeah, I do it.
Exactly.
It's not the kind of thing where I'm just like, I want to do this podcast because I want it to be famous. I'm doing it because it's fun.
Yeah,
if it turns out, if enough people like it, that it turns out to be famous.
Well, look, I mean, I know.
But it's
The thing is-
I'm quite happy to play to 10 people.
Yeah,
It's an
every
unsaid
week.
rule that we don't really mention it, but there's a podcast me and you love, which started off exactly the same way of them just doing what they love, and it got huge, right? And not huge. You're never going to see it on Britain's Got Talent, but they make money, and it's now becoming a thing.
Yeah, I will say that they had the difference in that situation is they had a slightly bigger.
Yes.
They were on a massive entertainment platform as one of their sideline shows. They got it popular by being themselves and doing what they love, like we.
But
do.
again, all they were doing.
But they had a platform.
Yeah. But they got big by not aiming for it.
Yeah.
Because you want to do something different.
Yeah.
Like, to take Zach as an example, I watched a match last night where he came out in Scotland and was being a bad guy, and all he was doing, he got on the mic and was just being like, he wasn't doing the like, well, you see, when I come here next time, he wasn't doing that, he was just talking.
Yeah.
And everybody was like booing him because he was trying to be there, but they were booing him because he was different. They will cheer him because he's different.
Are they racist?
Yeah.
Wrestling Omer's best mate.
Crazy legal disclaimers.
Oh, that's not really racist, we hope.
So do I.
Yeah,
what would I say? App doesn't agree with me.
That is a mishmash. Hence,
You know, the worst thing I can do is I actually eat. I used to be once a week, but I'd have a Chinese takeaway.
Right.
So if I, put up a status about having a Chinese, it will just mix the word Chinese into the worst sentence. So it becomes about the nation rather than the food.
yeah.
But yeah, the biggest bands, wrestlers, painters, anything like that, got there because they were different. But they were just doing it for themselves. If you aim to be big, like I'm not one of them people that go, oh, you're a sellout, blah blah. Aim to be the best. But if you don't get there and you commit suicide because you didn't, it's a waste.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Like if you're getting it's a 99% chance you will never get as big as you want to be.
This is the thing. I'm shit at music.
I wouldn't agree with that.
I can't. I taught myself to play guitar to be in the band Crouch, and we taught ourselves from a standing start 18 months ago. And before that, I just sang in Deadliest Warrior, my other band, plug.
Yeah, go for it.
And I can't sing. So I just shout like punk style. But I can't. Yeah, hell yeah! I can't imagine. I will always be doing something because I fucking love doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it gets anywhere. I mean, it would be nice because then you get to be able to have a bit of money to be able to do it.
Sure.
But I'm always going to be doing it.
See, we know a couple of people that are in like a little band, and they haven't gigged, but they're just recording this EP. They're not putting any like real effort into like putting themselves on the internet. Blah blah blah. I like these people. By the way. It's not, but They want their goal is to get signed, and I think that's wrong.
They're doing it
I had a similar thing. There's another band I've been wanting to start for ages doing like a folk medley stuff.
Yeah.
All I want to do is, because it's going to be a big project, it could be sort of 17, 25 kind of people involved in getting this because of all the folk instruments, things like that. What I really want to do is just 2 days in a studio, record 4 or 5 songs and a cover, right? Yeah. And then maybe do 3 or 4 dates throughout Kent or something like that. And then just be like, it was awesome. And if somebody were on that gig and go, we're going to sign you up to tour Europe and we're going to give you $1 million, I go, wicked, thank you very much. Like, there's always that, you've got to be positive and think that sort of thing is there. But just enjoy what you're up to.
You need to, the best stuff is the stuff where people would be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, you can get signed for enough and that would be cool, but you should. It's not like you should be doing it for its own sake. It's like Billy Childish wrote a great thing about art, where he said that art is only of worth if you're doing it for its own sake.
Yeah.
If you just like painting, you should be doing it. An artist should be someone who wouldn't be able to stop them.
Yeah.
He said, I can't imagine Damien Hirst sits at home cutting cows in half for the pure love of it.
Yeah.
It's like that's the exact opposite of what we're talking about. He's just doing stuff. He said about someone was like talking about his installation where it's just like a chemist shop with some dead flies in the middle, and he's like, "Is this art?" And he's like, "Well, I'm an artist and I made it, so that makes it art."
Yeah.
But it's just like the whole thing is
so by the same logic, it's also toss pot.
Yeah.
Because he's a toss pot and he made it.
No, it's toss because he's an artist and it's art.
Yeah.
And also, fuck cows.
Yeah, fuck him straight through the middle.
I could do that.
Is that one of your what would I say? Fuck cows through the middle.
It's that's why so many people get upset and so many people get depressed.
Dejected.
It's because they want more than they could ever have. Like, and I guess that's like almost like fundamental Buddhism.
It's human.
Yeah. If you want something, and it's fine. Yeah, you're right. It's human. You will always want what you can't have. But just because you haven't got it doesn't mean you have to be sad about it.
More accurately, I mean to say that it's healthy to strive for more than you've got.
Yes.
Within reason.
It's healthy, yes. But go back a generation from us. Right? Go to your local. Don't go now.
BRB, go to DeLorean.
Time rewind. Go back a generation to there's a lady now. She'll be 55, 60, coming up to retirement.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
She's worked in the co-op since she was 25 years old. She's worked in the co-op since she's 25 years old, right? She goes home. She takes her wage every month, week, whatever. She goes home. She buys food. She does her housework, whatever. She argues with her husband. Her kids go after you. That's what she earns her money for. Is to live her life.
Yeah.
If you go back, it's our generation. They're all trying to fucking reach for the stars.
Yeah.
Like my dad did one of the biggest things you'll ever do in your life. He moved country and set up a life, right? But all he wanted was to live. All he wanted was a decent wage.
To have a better life.
To have a better life. Now, he's given me enough to reach for the next level, where I could have, not an empire, but instead of having one small shop that works well, I could perhaps...
Fucking 10 episodes of a YouTube series and he's after a fucking empire. Up yourself much?
I could run my shop... Right, I could run my shop and have another one that, in theory, by the time I'm 40, 50 years old.
Yeah.
Or I could, in 20 years' time, I could buy a house and rent it, so I get the money from that. I'm not going like I'm going to be the world's biggest estate agent. What I'm saying is, my aim.
Wrestling assessed estate agent.
Let me tell you something, brother. When I hand you the keys, you're going to go in and open it. It's going to be your home. I'm going to exchange contracts up on your ass.
Where I'm reaching for now, right?
Yeah.
I just had a shit.
Is to run my shop to a successful degree, maybe expand it into an online company or something like that,
okay,
and make a few more quid than it currently makes, and maybe own a little bit of property to get a few quid in that way. That's what I'm aiming for. If in the meantime I become a professional stamp collector and somebody wants to give me £1 million a week to do something stupid, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I'm aiming for something just to make me a successful person,
yeah,
not like a celebrity, because you aim for that and it will never happen.
Yeah.
And then you'll be 75 years old on your deathbed going, I just wish I'd recorded that album. I just wish. You shouldn't have to live that way. Just you go for better than you are, but just one step ahead.
I can't do that. I'm fucking awesome.
Rob can't be better than he is.
I'm not saying that.
No. The term is he's plateaued.
I've peaked. 18 episodes into a podcast and I've fucking peaked.
From here, Wade.
Up yourself much?
The generation from us didn't want more than their lot.
Yeah.
It's now, and maybe times are tougher, and so we reach for higher levels.
I think it also ties into that undercurrent of entitlement that runs.
Yeah, it's just that we're also comfortable.
But it also
soft.
It also, I think, helps in that respect that the barrier to entry is so low for a lot of places.
Oh,
you could direct a movie with £100 worth of camcorder.
Yeah.
People do.
That's awesome.
And
you
yet,
can.
90% of them are shite, but there will be. That 10% that are really, really good. But that would have existed anyway.
Like, it's great. I'll keep seeing it because a couple of my friends must love it on Facebook or whatever. But they're Vines and it's Dapper Laughs or something like that.
Okay.
And it's this dickhead he's just some Londoner who works in an office, right? He's dressed fairly sharp. He's got a nice, stubbly, the trendy kind of guy. And it's just him going, "Oh, my girl's proper wet." And it's not fucking funny. The guy's got like 50,000 people watching him. He evidently thinks it's fun, right? Right, now here's the thing. One or two videos, right? And if that was your thing. But it's just this guy who calls himself Dapper Laughs, just going and just insulting the gay guy in his office and things like that. And people are giving this guy views. This guy is going to end up making a few quid out. I hope he doesn't, because he's a proper cock.
Vine is kind of like the epitome of that.
Yeah, it's just people. I saw one earlier, which was, and it was, in one hand it was kind of funny, then I actually thought about what I was watching. It was a guy pushed jelly babies into his teeth, right? So he's got like a jelly baby mouth, and then does an impression of Lil Wayne. And I was like, it's funny because he's got the thing in his teeth, and it's I'm watching a guy put fucking jelly babies in his teeth and fucking 30 million views.
This reminds me of like Let's Players, like the big personality ones like PewDiePie and Markiplier, and all they do, like nowadays, they probably in the past had to make a lot of effort to make their stuff interesting, but all they do nowadays is ride on their own success, and it's not even about the games anymore. They just talk. They just sit there and make stupid noises.
Yeah.
when the game's not even scary, they're just like.
There are some guys that do it really. I'm a really big fan of Robaz, King of Sweden. He does. I started watching him do Skyrim ones, and he's hilarious because he speaks in broken English and he has the most childish, most pathetic, like, oh, look at all the tits, and he says that. But you actually go, this guy has a sense of humour. It's funny, and he obviously has got a bit of a sponsorship for it. But he also every now and then will mention his day job, which means he's grounded and he's doing something. Yeah. But then other people, it's just making stupid noises.
I'm going to quit my 10-year career to do YouTube videos for a living.
Which they do.
Yeah, I know people who've done it.
And it's crazy.
And you don't know what? It's all going to die.
Oh yeah.
The world is not going to go that way eventually. There will be something else. And you will be the guy who invested all of his money in Betamax.
Well, what makes me laugh is there was a guy...
Now?
I read this guy...
We're going to bring it back.
It's going to come around again.
Where's the DeLorean?
There was this guy on Twitter the other day who was doing like a sort of joke timeline of 1945 World War II ends and 1963 Kennedy assassinated, 2082 Tumblr becomes self-aware. and I thought it was adorable that he thinks that Tumblr will be around in 70 years.
Yeah.
Of course it fucking won't.
The evolution of... I think...
There'll be something to take its place several times.
And it'll evolve and it'll change. Yeah. It's like...
it'll be Tumblr 7.0 that becomes self-aware.
When I was on the internet...
at least you put the version number down.
I'd spend all night talking on MSN Messenger. Right? Doesn't exist in that form anymore. It's fine because there are other things. I can talk to you for 24 hours on Facebook Messenger. Or I can talk to you on Skype. Right, everything Skype won't be around in 50 years. It'll be completely different.
Don't let it on that you reply to messages.
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah.
Oh, isn't Bebo coming back as well?
Yeah, they've relaunched something, or it shutters something else.
I think what happened is the guy who originally created it sold it off for like stupid $1 million, and has now bought it back for a fraction of the a tenth of the value. So he's like he's got his site back, but he's also sitting on like $780 million, which this raw profit that he made. Obviously, he pays like tax on it and shit.
Yeah.
But
it's just sitting there waiting for him to do something with it.
What do you think, Blake?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
But it's just like it is.
I'm thinking after our price, I might go on Google search on Lycos.
I
might ask Jeeves.
Alta Vista.
I might ask Jeeves about restaurants.
Here's one.
Use your toolbar.
Hooligans. Do you remember your Hooligans? It was basically the chart. It was before you had your safe search options.
Yeah.
But it was so much easier to just tell your kids instead of going to Yahoo, which might turn up porn or something indecent. You go to your Hooligans, and it was basically like all the safe searches were at maximum.
Oh, okay.
We used to when we first started using the internet in school. I think I was 10 when they first started giving us internet lessons.
Was your voice breaking then too?
I
was a big boy school.
I had my first shave at 10 years old.
Yeah, well, I can believe it.
Yeah, and training and all that.
No, I'm just looking at your face.
I haven't shaved since.
Racist.
I shaved last night, actually, can you tell? I genuinely did. It's the worst bit.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have shaved completely.
It was my balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember they wrote home.
He hasn't got much to work around. He did it. He did.
The kids, the parents are obviously internet was new.
But you got a tiny dick.
You can download a murderer or something. Do you know what I mean? The internet was scary when it first came out. So when they wrote home to the parents,
murderer.zip.
We'll be using your Hooligans because it's safe.
Yeah.
The Space Jam website is still up. Have you seen that?
No.
The Space Jam website has not been updated since 1996, and it's still live.
Amazing.
Seriously, check it out. It's beautiful.
I still have.
Who was the marketing executive at Warner or whatever it is who was sitting there going, "We better get a 20-year lease on that domain because that's going to be the hot shit."
Yes, I know, right? That's the thing. You can never tell what's going to stick. We could have been on Space Jam 12 by now, and it could be the biggest franchise of all time.
Michael Jordan did a thing recently, like a Q&A of some sort. It might have been on Reddit actually, and they said to him, "What's your proudest career achievement?" He went, "Obviously Space Jam." The trouble is with the internet, you can never tell with syntax if he's serious or not. It's just like, Michael, do you know all the basketball stuff you did? So I don't know if you're just aware of that one thing you did in your life.
But no, I like that kind of sense of humour and that humility.
I bet you had more fun making Space Jam than he ever did basketball.
Yeah. The things that I love. See, you always get like, why is he doing? Why is X celebrity doing this shitty show? Because it's been hilarious.
Yeah. They don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah. Why is fucking so and so doing dancing on ice? Because it's going to be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
They want to. They're humans like me and you.
Yeah. Want to have fun.
If someone asked me to go on Dancing with the Stars, I'd fucking do it. Yeah.
I'd be out in the jungle. I'd be on it. I'd do any fucking thing.
They do Dancing with the Stars.
But the thing is, if we went on it, it would be.
Not if they're playing jungle.
Problem is, if we went on it, it would be I'm nobody, get me out of it.
I wrestled Jimmy Snooker once, get me out of it. It's just you and the Undertaker.
Alright, Mark.
Who are you?
Call me that.
Who are you again?
I'll call you Undy from now on.
That's better. Who are you again? You wrestled Jimmy Snooker once, did you? Was it in front of millions of people? Didn't fucking think so. Going out the jungle.
Are you that guy who killed the wrestling channel?
Have we told that? I think it's another story. How long do we have? Because
we can have just over an hour so far.
I can do it real quick. Essentially, I had a match on the wrestling channel, and it was shit.
Everyone.
It was designed to be shit. It was a comedy match, and we didn't take it seriously. I think the finish was me getting rolled up in Christmas wrapping paper, like getting knocked down, rolled up in paper, and I couldn't kick out because I was wrapped up. We hit each other with trees. It was meant to be a bit of a laugh, right? And I was really chuffed they recorded it. I thought for what it was, for what they asked me to do, and basically I got paid to perform. I performed the way they wanted me to perform. I got paid for it. It was great. I enjoyed it.
You notice how many times you dropped the word "I got paid to do this"?
That wasn't much.
It's a free podcast. All right? Get over it.
It was.
You will never see a check from the Crazy Train.
He's like
Deal with it and move on.
Up yourself much.
It was shown on air
It
was shown on air on Boxing Day and then on New Year's Eve. I was really proud of it. And then in the February, the wrestling channel changed hands with a Canadian channel called the Fight Network, and they were going to keep it on. Basically, this is the way I know it, is that the Fight Network said, yes, we're going to keep all of the programs, it's just going to go from the wrestling channel to the Fight Network. It'll be no different. But we need every channel, just as a matter of course, to send us a TV show so that we can watch it, make sure your content is what we would like to represent. So all the companies sent off their things and they're fine. The company I worked for sent off a tape, and what they did was send in the tape with my bullshit, not very wrestling match on it. Instead of the one before, and it wasn't a mistake, they sent off on purpose, the one before it featured the most watched British wrestling match in the past 30 years. It was Rhino versus Martin Stone, a British wrestler.
Okay.
And people just tuned in to see it. And it also had clips of Martin Stone versus the Great Muta from Japan.
Okay.
Right? Epic moment in British history. They didn't send that. They sent me getting whipped with a Christmas tree. So they said, actually, we're not going to keep all the shows, we're going to drop it. With that one show missing, they didn't have enough time to fill the air, so they just cut the channel altogether. Wow. So, in a long and short, I retired shortly after that. I think I retired in the March. I wish I'd have thought about it at the time, and I would have used it. It would have been such a great thing to go around the country as the guy who shut down British wrestling on television. They would have hated me. But alas, that's the way it ended.
Omer ruefully regrets an opportunity to have been hated.
And so he comes on the podcast, and what does he do?
He makes good on that regret.
Right. Do you know what? That is always the way I was told that story. It seems a bit far-fetched. I'd like to believe it was true because it's hilarious. But it might not have been the way, but that's always the way it was explained to me. So.
Yeah. What actually happened is he flipped, the guy pinned Omer 1, 2, 3, flipped him over, and 10 seconds later,
what actually happened is he called me a kike, so I knocked him out.
And on that note, it was probably time to wrap up the show. So for Sauerkraut,
I'm knitting again.
is that one of your, what would I say?
No.
No.
No, that's actually true.
Oh, okay. Spike direction.
Kiss tried to kill the students. That's one of my
that one
I'd
must
say.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Omer Ibrahim.
I'm off for a poo.
Blake Harmer. I'm being your host, Rob Wade. Just totally drained. Must require more sharks. Hashtag Far Cry 3. If you've enjoyed the show,
So I'm giving you some background music.
that's fine. Can you do it a little bit lower this time because it threw me off?
We need to do all the same thing.
Dun 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 dun.
When will you learn? Trying to get Omer on side for anything is a fool's game.
On side.
Heartbreak.
Never be the same. She's gone. She's never come back, and I'm gonna slit my wrists with a butter knife. Sorry, I've been on, what would I say?
Sorry, I thought we were back on comment murder.
Okay.
So, if you've enjoyed the show,
I haven't.
Carry on.
yeah. So if you've enjoyed the show, you can find the Crazy Train on iTunes. You can find us on emotionally14.com, which is the main website, which hosts the Crazy Train and Claymore Division, which is one of the side projects that I'm as involved in. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I'm at Rob Wade Vision. The site's at emotionally14.
It's a dinosaur. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Sauerkraut is at Grost. Spike Direction is at Big Beat 1985. Omer is at the Iron Turk Omer. Now active again after several months.
Join in over the next couple of hours, which is before this will go out, so that you can see some of me spurring racism at Triple X Wrestling.
Good times. And Blake Harmer is not on Twitter, but he is followable at work.
Now I know what it is.
And down alleyway.
You can find Emotionally Fields 14 on Facebook, where we're now posting bits and pieces from the show, as well as the episodes, obviously plugs to those. Shout out once again to our number one superfan, Paul, who found us that amazing advert and the Sam Neill JPEG.
If I ever meet you, I'll cup your balls in thanks.
Well, that's an incentive as much as any to meet Omer.
Disclaimer, I won't. Disclaimer, I'm on it.
If you like the sound of the musical projects of Emotionally 14, you can find Sauerkraut from the Xenophobes on Bandcamp. Is there a Facebook page?
There is.
Yeah,
There is a Facebook page. They've just had an EP out, which is available at local music shops.
Oh, free Christmas single coming out.
Christmas
Probably
single.
around the time this podcast.
Probably
is going.
around
go.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Marketing 101, boys.
Synergy, that is.
If you want to be really kind of prog, I'd release it in like July.
Or November.
Before it gets popular.
Yeah, just after Halloween.
So, folks, if you live in Medway, you can pick up Sleazy Christmas by Sauerkraut and Xenophobes from Manny's Music for sweet FA. Do
Right,
it.
nice.
Oh, I've got to go to Chatham.
Fun story, I took my girlfriend there yesterday and she hates it. Well, no, she doesn't hate it, but her reaction was, it's not as shit as you made it sound, but yeah, it's pretty shit.
I saw a piece of graffiti in Sheerness in the toilets in a music venue. It just said, Sheerness makes me sad.
They actually started writing sadistic, but just like, I'm gonna kill!
That's next to the one that says, I'm writing on this wall in pen, take that establishment.
Wow. Civil disobedience, Sheerness style. I went to the KFC and asked for McNuggets.
They gave me some. They're far too nice in there. McDonald's is a 2-mile drive.
Oh, God.
So you can find Sauerkraut and the Xenophobes on Bandcamp and on Facebook. You can find Vandercrack Corn. You guys still got a Facebook page, right?
Stop,
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think so.
You can't find us at any music venues.
If
If you turn up at our practice room, we won't be there.
They're the band that never gigs.
take that establishment.
They're smoke, they're mirrors, they're like the wind. They're gone. And with that, thank you very much for listening. We've been the Crazy Train, and peace out.
Wicked.
Brr.
Wicked.